Are you looking for some new soups to fill up your weekly rotation? Well, stick around because I got 3 for you. Greetings and welcome to or welcome back to PB with Jay. Here on the channel, we focus on all things plant-based goodness. And recently, I posted 2 compilation videos on soups from recipe books that we have reviewed in the past. But what I thought I would do is show you some recipes that we make here, 2 of which I've been working on for a potential upcoming book project. And the other one is one of our old standbys we've been having for years. And that last one is in our book, which is right here. You can pick it up. There's hard copies available now. You can get it on the QR code for the ebook version that's on the screen right now. But if you want a hard copy, my email address is on the screen right here. Email me and I'll let you know how to get a hard copy. But stick around to the end, because even if you have the book, I'm gonna show you a slight remix on that recipe that I'm gonna do because I don't have all the ingredients for it. So I'm gonna show you how to tweak on the fly. But that's at the end of the video. Let's get to the first recipe. It's kind of a cold, crappy fall day here, so I'm gonna make this hearty lentil soup. This is a bit of an experiment because I'm using an old recipe that I developed that uses canned tomatoes, but I'm trying to use less tomatoes in our cooking because it upsets Willie's stomach right now. She's still working on her gut microbiome, getting it fleshed out. So I'm still gonna use a little bit of tomato paste, but I'm going to omit the can of crushed tomatoes that I normally would put in here. And instead I'm actually gonna use like a half a cup of sunflower butter, or like tahini, really. And the idea is I'm using that as the way you would use like a cashew cream or whatnot, or coconut milk, you know? So it'll give it a bit of fattiness to it, and hopefully we like, but I'll adjust it on the fly and let you know what I put in it. This is super simple, and I'm gonna give you all the vegetables I'm putting in this, but if you wanna swap out or add other vegetables or anything else, make this your own. You know, try to use the flavorings we use, but as far as vegetables go, just do your thing. So you wanna start off by just getting your vegetables ready. So I've got 2 onions here. I've got 4 stalks of celery. I've got either 2 big carrots like I've got here, or like 4 medium carrots. I'm gonna dice those up. Either 4 small cloves of garlic or 2 giant cloves of garlic, which is what I got here. And then what we're gonna do is we're going to sweat the onions, celery, and carrots all together for 5 to 10 minutes until they're nice and softened. And then we're gonna add in the garlic. We're gonna sweat that for 1 more minute. And then we're gonna put in the tomato paste. I'm putting about 2 tablespoons in here. We're gonna cook that for another 2 minutes, and then we're gonna add in our spices and mix those all around. And then in go the lentils. Make sure you rinse your lentils before you put them in here, just so they don't have that like dried, musty stuff that happens to them in the package. If you're using canned lentils, you're fine. Just, rinse them. You don't want the liquid from the can. After that, we're gonna add in our tahini, bay leaves, thyme, and our cinnamon. And then we're gonna add in our vegetable stock. We're gonna bring that to a boil. And we're gonna let that cook for up to an hour, just because we want the flavors to really come together. So this is the kind of soup you might wanna make earlier on in the afternoon and just let it hang out in the pot. Can you make this in the Instant Pot? Haven't actually tried it. I'm sure it would be great and fine, but I've got a little bit of time this afternoon, so I'm gonna make the soup early and just let it linger in the background. The other thing I'm gonna add to this soup after it's cooked for a while is, I think I have a little bit of spinach in the fridge, so I'm gonna chuck some of that in just at the end and let it wilt before we eat it. You don't have to. Kale would also work in here. Pretty much any leafy green would work just fine. It's pretty good. It just needs a little something. I'm gonna add, it needs a little acid. I'm gonna put in some lemon and see if that helps it. Yeah, now for me, I would just adjust it by your own tastes. Some more salt and pepper. You could put a little maple syrup in here or something if you wanted to, I don't know, round it out with a little bit of sweetness, but I don't think that's our vibe. You could put some hot sauce in here. I might put some nutritional yeast on mine. I might put it in my bowl, but this is a really good base. It's good as it is, but you could always add to it. Really, really, really nice. Let me know if you make this, and if you do any modifications in what you do, because this is a candidate for a book project that I'm working on. Annie asked me to make leek and potato soup. So that's what we're doing right now. The only thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna modify it a little bit. Obviously, I'm gonna make it whole food plant-based, but I also wanna bulk it up so it's more of a meal and I'm not hungry like an hour later. My problem with most soups is that I need to have like a sandwich with them or something else with them. I just wanna have the soup and I wanna make it filling enough. So I'm gonna add some white beans to this. And I'm gonna do this in an Instant Pot. If you don't have an Instant Pot, you can do it in the stove top. You just need to probably cook it a little bit longer. You're gonna need a blender or an immersion blender for this as well. So I cooked my own beans. If not, you can just use a can of beans. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take about 3 to 4 large leeks and we're gonna saute them in the Instant Pot. If you have some celery stalks, I would add those as well. I thought I had some, but they had gone a little funky, so they got tossed out, but I would have put those in if I had them. So you should do that if you've got some. Saute those for like a few minutes. While you're doing that, chop up your potatoes into just tiny cubes. Don't worry too much about the size of them because they're just gonna get mushed up later on anyway. So after your onion is good to go, you're gonna add in some garlic powder and thyme. If you want to use fresh garlic, that's fine. I was just being lazy tonight, so I put in 2 teaspoons of garlic powder, but otherwise I would use like 2 to 4 cloves of garlic, depending on the size of your garlic and how much you like garlic. Then we're also going to add in a tablespoon of miso paste, 4 cups of vegetable broth, your cooked white beans. I'm just using cannelli beans here, white beans. Chickpeas would be fine if you want to use chickpeas. Any white bean would work. And then I decided, just because I actually was out of vegetable broth, so I'm going to just put in some, like a teaspoon of this no salt seasoning, which is just, I think it's the Costco blend I got, but if you have any no salt seasoning blend, Mrs. Dash, that'd be fine too. We're gonna put that on the Instant Pot and cook that for like 8 minutes. And while that's cooking, I'm just gonna whip up some milk real quick using our milky plant because we are out. Otherwise, when this is done, we are going to add in a cup of that milk. We're gonna add in about 2 tablespoons of nutritional yeast. We're gonna pull the bay leaf out, and then we're gonna blend it up until it's nice and smooth. And then we're gonna add it to our bowls and then put a little parsley on top. And if people want a little salt and pepper, they can do that. And that is a super quick and easy 1-pot meal soup that you can make in literally no time with very, very few ingredients. Let me know if you've got a really quick soup recipe that you like, and maybe we'll try it out here on the channel. And now for the third and final recipe, I'm gonna make a variation on the creamy Moroccan stew that is in our cookbook. But before I do that, I wanna give a quick hello to some of you who said hello to us in the comments down below. Penny from Champaign, Illinois. Melanie from Federal Way, Washington. Kim from West Michigan. Babs Running from upstate New York. Michelle from Ontario. Claudia in Lake Ouachita in Arkansas. Monica in southwestern Wisconsin. Adriana from Southern California. And Celestiana from Poland, who had an old school pressure cooker explode in her house when she was a kid. If you'd like a shout out here on the channel, all you have to do is say hello to us in the comments down below. Let us know who you are, where you're watching from, and what is one of your go-to soups. And if you want to bump up on that shout out list, consider joining us over in our membership Mighty Network, which is a group of like-minded individuals. You get early access to videos, advanced recipes that I'm working on, stuff like that. And you can get it all for the price of a crappy cup of coffee a month. All right, so let's make this creamy Moroccan stew. And I'm actually gonna do this today in the Instant Pot. Although what I'm gonna do first is saute some of the vegetables and then put it on to cook. But some of the ingredients you gotta hold back on and you're gonna add later. I'm actually fresh out of vegetable broth, so instead of using vegetable broth, I'm just gonna use straight up water. I'm gonna put a little bit of miso paste in there and like a teaspoon or so of no salt seasoning. We're gonna get our pot all nice and warmed up, and then we're gonna saute the onions, put the peppers and the garlic in there as well. And we're gonna cook those just until they're softened, like 3 to 5 minutes is all you need, just to kind of get them going a little bit. Then we're gonna add in the ginger along with all the other spices and mix it together. And then we're gonna add everything else on this list except for the raisins, the lime, and our nut butter. And we're going to put that on to cook in the Instant Pot for 8 minutes. That's all we need. That might even be a bit too much. I might do it for 5 minutes. Depending on your Instant Pot, it doesn't need long because everything is pretty much cooked and it doesn't take long to cook the vegetables inside of this. I think I forgot to mention how long to cook this. If you're using the Instant Pot, you want to do it for just like 8 minutes and then let it sit for about 8 minutes before you release it. And if you're doing it on the stove, probably 20 to 30 minutes, really just until the sweet potatoes are cooked through. So for a swap today, I am all out of raisins. My daughter is not happy about it. So what I'm actually gonna put in here today instead is goji berries.
12 seconds later.
So the good news is I don't have to swap the goji berries in, mostly because when I suggested it, Wooly was horrified. Also, I realized she has a hidden stash of raisins that she didn't tell any of us about.
Hey, they're my birthday present.
So this is something I learned today. So we're gonna use some of Wooly's hidden stash of raisins. But you could use, cranberries would probably be okay in this. Never mind, use raisins. Don't do a swap in this, how dare you. Currants? Oh, currants?
The same flavor as raisins.
Yeah, currants are like baby raisins. These are giant, these are the biggest raisins. I might cut these in half. Anyway, you do you. So after everything cooks, you're gonna release your Instant Pot and then you're gonna add in the goji berries, you're gonna add in some lime, and you normally put in peanut butter in here, but I might do like a half and half with almond butter just because I'd like to try a different flavor and see how it tastes. And then we're gonna throw in some spinach too, just until it's wilted. If you don't have spinach, any hearty green will do, so kale is great and well in here. I haven't tried anything else, but you know, collards might be fine. Let me know if you try something different in the comments down below. If you want to puree it so it's a little bit creamier, you could do that as well. Otherwise, just throw this in a bowl. This is such a creamy, delicious, comforting meal. If you have some sourdough, rip off a chunk and have that with it. Delicious. Here's the taste test. I'm curious how it is with the almond butter. Ooh, I might even like that more. Almond has such an earthiness to it. That might be better. Anyway, you do you. This is delicious. I hope you enjoyed this video full of soups that we make around here. Let me know in the comments down below if you would make any, and if you have any tweaks for those ones that are recipes that we are working on. Hit the like button to let YouTube know to share this with other people. Subscribe if you haven't yet for videos like this. And if you got a little extra time, YouTube has this video all queued up for you right here for you to watch next. With a big bowl of soup. Just sit down and nom nom while you're watching it.